You should not worry of where you are going, what is supposed to happen to you, and what is supposed to happen anywhere. Because he knows you are today, he knows you are tomorrow, he knows you are day after tomorrow. Don't worry about your tomorrow. You have seen it, but tomorrow is a mystery, and only God knows what is going to happen tomorrow. So don't worry about what is happening right now. Don't worry of what they are saying about you now. Don't worry that they have deserted you. Don't worry that they have ignored you. They have ignored you because the time for you to get into it hasn't come. Sometimes things happen to us and we think the devil is in control. The devil is not in control in everything. Your timing ya Mungu bado haijaingia. Mungu alisema atakupatia mamilioni ya pesa, but you are not yet mature for the millions. Mungu alikwambia atakupatia mzee na amekaa uko na miaka 45, uko na miaka 44, uko na miaka 40 and you don't have a man yet. Uko na miaka 50 and you don't have a man yet. Nataka nikwambie siku ya leo, it is not that God doesn't know what is happening. God knows, but because he had given you a boyfriend long time ago, ukashindwa kumuhandle, akasema wacha aive kwanza ndio nimtengeneze, akipata mwanaume atajua kutunza. How much you got, amen? How much you got? You must qualify that which you are asking God. You must qualify. Whatever you ask God, you must qualify it. Lazima you get it. You succeed in it. You must go trials and the tests. How did you handle the men that God gave you at your office? How did you handle that house boy, huyo shamba boy that was working in your land? How did you handle that shamba boy? God had given you a shamba boy to work in your land, to work in your household, and you mistreated that boy like a dog. Huyo kijana ulikuwa unamtuma mvua ikinyesha, unamwambia aende shop, anakuambia kunanyesha, anakuambia kimbia, na kana kimbia because kana kuheshimu. What did you do? Umepatiwa responsibility at work. Unaangalia the people that are under you are all men, and you frog match them. You tell them to do things that they are not possible to do. And then now when it comes to your turn to ask God to give you a man, unaenda kwa Mungu unamwambia nipatie man, and you mistreated somebody's husband. Hallelujah. Ama unafikiria Shababo is not somebody's husband? He's somebody's husband. Yo kijana wa kuchuka ng'ombe is somebody's husband. How did you treat that person? Hebu reflect nyuma, nyinyi watu mmekosa mabwana. Hebu reflect nyuma, ujiulize, how many men did you mistreat while you were in school? Ni wangapi ulitesa shuleni kwa sababu ulikuwa monitor ama prefect? And God tested on you that akakukulia tu, akajua this a wrong number. Huyu ukimpatia mwanaume wakae na yeye atakatakata siri wayaweke kwa chakula, mwanaume aendelee kukufa tu pole pole. And I don't want maybe atashikana na Ndura anafaa kuhubiria watu 20 to 40 million. Kwa sababu mzee alikuwa anafanya hapa public house miaka 40 in the government. Unajua wale civil servant wa zamani walikuwa wanavaa koti imejikuja inakaa kama mkia ya ng'ombe. Unakujua wale wa zamani, wale civil servant wa zamani. Wao walikuwa wanavuta tu sigara. Sasa kamzee kameishi Nairobi, kanaendaga tu once in a month. Kanaendaga Saturday jioni usiku, kanafika saa 8 usiku kanalala, kanarudi kanachomoka saa 4 mchana. Katarudi tena siku hiyo. Sasa kameenda retire. Kamekuta mama mwenye alikuwa amezoea kuchuga kuku zake, kuchuga mavifaraga, kulima chakula yake mzuri na tupesa tuake mzuri, anaenda kamwelezo, anarudi saa 4 usiku, saa 5 usiku, kamzee kanaanza kumuuliza yenyi na agashire. Osherage wa kodhi koishi. Na mtumio tuko shero wajiria kwa shero. Anakujaga that is her time, anakujaga nyumbani. Sasa unakuja kuweka governor, speed governor. Na huyo mama alikuwa already amejiestablish kule kijijini. Unajua kule kijijini kuna wasee wengi huko wazuri, wanajua kutunza. Sasa wewe unakuja kusema speed governor, hati unauliza wewe unatoka wapi saa hii? Unakotura. Hiyo maswali utaulizia bali. Utaenda bali kuulizia huko. Maana huyu mama amezoea. Huyu mama ameishi maisha comfortable. Bwana Yesu asifiwe sana. Kama kidola na that. Niko imagine kivisha keu. Oh my goodness. And that is what is happening. So when you find yourself in a situation, in a catastrophe like that one, you need to understand that there is a hand that is beyond. There are things that are beyond you. You don't need to handle them. You need to let God and come in to do them for you. You need only to submit, surrender to God. Some things we are pushing to buy new cars. We are pushing to drive a car. We are pushing to own a family. We are pushing to do things and they are not working. And you are trying to apply your education. You are trying to apply your experiences. You are trying to apply everything in your life. Nothing is working. So unashindwa. What you want, what man or woman wants, because there is a woman ambaye anaomba kila siku, analia kila siku because of the husband, analia mateso ambayo anapitia, analia mambo ambayo anapitia. Naye kuna mama mwingine hapa ni siko aderonere, anaonaga mwanaume hivi, anasikia goosebumps zinatembea kwa mwili yake yote, anasema wow, what a wonderful man. Oh. Na kuna mtu anaona mwanaume akipita anasema shaitani nyingine imepita. Abia mwenzako, let God handle this. It is beyond you. This is completely beyond us. You cannot be able to know what does this man want, that this woman want, because whatever that happens around us, to some is good, to some is bad. What the good food for you is poison for the other man. Let God handle this. And when we let God to handle this, God will control. Let go of your problems and let God handle them. Don't try to fix anything. If you try to fix, you will unfix which God had already fixed. Let go your heart and let God heal you. Don't allow your heart to control you. Don't allow your heart, because I was hurt by so and so. I was hurt by my ex-wife. I was hurt by my ex-husband. I was hurt by my boss. I was hurt by so and so. Don't worry about the hurt. Let God heal you. Hurts are there. You will be hurt anyway. Wherever you go, you will be hurt. Utaingia kwa matatu, makanga atakutukana. Utakaa na mama hapo karibu, unasikia mama ananuka. Lakini you are hurt, but you can do nothing. Just allow it to happen, because you did not choose yourself to be where you are. You did not choose yourself to be in that position that you are. You need God to guide. God only knows why. He knows how to control. He knows how to make it. He knows how to move you to the next level. He knows how to lift you. He knows how to control. Yeye mwenyewe ndiye anajua. Hauhitaji kujiingiliza, kufix it. Yes, you are there. Let go your fear and let God sustain you. That fear that is disturbing you, let it go. Allow God to sustain you. You've been fearing. You've been saying that nikiachana na huyu mtu nitakuwa nikikula nini? Unateseka kwenye mahali huko. You are refusing to let it go. Just let it go and let God fix it for you. Let him sustain. If you let it go, God will bring his angel, the angel that will control, the angel that will stand in the gap. Any business you are running and you disallow God to take control of it, it is a sure indicator that you don't want God to participate. You don't want God to do it. You want to do it. So God will take a vacation. He will go rest and monitor you as you fail. So let go of your worries and let your God bless you. Allow the worries that you have to go. When I had that from God, I was in Gong Mountain. When I allowed God and I had God is telling me, he told me, let go your worries. I am going to fix it. And I came back, I sat down, I knelt here, I did a sacrifice. We went for 3 days, night of repentance. 3 nights of repenting here. We repented, and after we did that, we called upon the name of God, and I asked God, now take control. This is not my sanctuary, it is your sanctuary. Hizi kanisa yangu ni yako, hii nyumba ni yako, sitangangana tena, wewe ngangana ni yako. I surrendered, and after I surrendered, things started working. You only need to surrender to God. Let go. Hiyo maneno unajaribu kungangana nayo, wachana nayo kabisa. Don't try. Just surrender to God. Release yourself to God. He knows when to bless you. He knows what time to come. He knows what. This man called Joshua, he never followed Moses to the mountain. He never wanted to go to see God because Moses alikuwa anakuja anaambia Joshua, tumana agai, tumezungumza, tumepiga raundi na yeye, tumekunywa kahawa ya Nescafe. Every time, every person has his or her own time with God. Don't be worried because you have seen somebody is blessed. Don't be worried because you have seen somebody succeeding. Because somebody is growing. Because somebody vitu zake zinakuwa, kanisa yake inakuwa, biashara yake inakuwa. Don't worry, it is not your time, it is his time. Ni wakati wake wa kubarikiwa. Sasa kaa chini wewe, ongojea, maana your file iko namba 27, ako na number 1. God is dealing with the file number 1. Na umeanza kucomplain na file yako iko namba 1200. Go relax, kaenda tafuta kuku za kienyeji. Usitafute za grade. Ukisubiri your day to come. Ukisubiri your turn. Don't try to push it. The more you try to push it and it is not time, you get more frustrations. Proverbs 3 verse number 5. Inasema hivi. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. Trust God. Muamini Mungu. Believe in him with all your heart. Do not lean on your own understanding. Trust this God. The day you trust this God and with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, that is very important statement. That 1, you must trust your Lord. Number 2, with your heart. And number 3, do not lean on your understanding. Just trust with your heart. Because some of us, we trust God with our mouth. Some of us, we trust God with our mahoris. Some of us, we trust God with our bodies. Some of us, we trust our God with our own eyes. That I must see. Lazima nione, no ginyanyone. No ginyanyone. Some of us, we trust God with our ears. Some of us, we trust God because we know how to fix things. I want to tell you, if there is no heart in it, if it's not coming from your heart, no matter how you try to trust it, it won't work for you. If it is not coming from your heart, no matter how you do it, no matter how you try, no matter how you plan to trust it, it will never become until your heart is involved. Until when you do, you put your heart on it, you have surrendered to God. Because your head does not surrender. Your eyes does not surrender to God. Your mouth will not surrender to God. But your heart is where the surrendering is done. The day you give this heart to God and you let God do the things, you believe in him through your heart, then God will fix it. Because when you surrender your heart to God, your experiences, your understanding is rubbished in Ndura. Then God takes control. Those who have leaned on God, those who have sought God's advantages, sought God's blessing, sought God to guide, sought God to prosper, sought God to elevate, sought God to lift, they have been lifted. But those who went through back doors, pushing things to work, pushing things to move, they have failed terribly because God does not want that way. God is preparing you for a particular line, yet you have moved from that line, you have gone to another line. God gave you a yellow line, but you are running for a green line because many people are in the green line. Many people are in the green line, yes, because that is the line that they started with. That you see many people there. Once your line that is yellow line, ikianza kufanya kazi, you will see also many people will come on it. Bwana Yesu asifiwe sana. Joshua diligently alikaa kwenye hema, hakufuatafuatana na Musa because he knew Moses is enough to go and speak to God. When the time of God comes, it will be fixed. Nobody will fix it for you. It will be fixed. Do not depend on your own understanding, but seek his will, and he will show you which way to do. In the book of Ephesians, chapter number 3, verse number 20, let go and let God have his way. Bwana Yesu asifiwe sana. Ephesians 3:20 inasema let go and let God have his way in your life, and he will bless you exceedingly abundantly above all that you ask or think. You see now the trick here. We have refused to let it go. But remember, there is a promise down there. Now to him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that works in us, he gives you more than you expected. Because you relied on his intelligence. You relied on his blessings. You relied on God to guide, God to prosper, God to make you move from one level to another level. When you surrender and let it that Mungu akweze kukusaidia, you will now, to him who is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all that we ask. You know, he is doing abundantly and what? Exceedingly above what we ask from him. Bwana Yesu asifiwe sana. When you rely on him, he gives you more than you are understanding, because he knows what you need now. He knows what you need tomorrow. He knows what you need the day after tomorrow. Anajua unataka nini sasa, unataka nini kesho, na unataka nini kesho kutwa. He knows. But when you are not ready, God cannot give you, because he knows you are going to destroy yourself. Therefore, when you are trusting God, in the book of Proverbs 3:5-6, trust in the Lord your God with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. Hiyo tumesoma. In all your ways acknowledge him. Verse number 6. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your ways straight. In all your ways. Katika kila njia unayoipitia, let him, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. Because in all, not one, in all your ways acknowledge him. Let him be the leader. Let him be the one to guide you. Let him be the one to take you to the next level. Let him to stand in the gap. Let him to do that problem that you are facing. Acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. Everywhere you go, in whatever you do, your path will be directed. And there is nothing as important as when your paths are directed. Wakati njia zako zote zinakontroliwa na Mungu, Mungu mwenyewe ndiye anaziangalia, everything will work your way. Everything will be done according to how he plans. Because God has got good plans, not to destroy you, plans to lift you up, plans to make you succeed, plans to make you win, plans to make you become, plans to make you wonderful person. God has it for you. God has a good plan for you. He doesn't have a plan to destroy you. He doesn't have any plan to allow your enemy to come and destroy you. But until you lead yourself, acknowledge him, and you allow him to direct your paths, that is when you start experiencing the power, the authority, the advantages that God has given you. The love that God has given you. You will experience it when you acknowledge his ways. When you acknowledge that he is God. When you acknowledge that he has the power. When you acknowledge that he is the one that only controls and loves you. There is nothing else. Hakuna kitu kingine, hakuna mtu mwingine, na hakuna nguvu iliyo hapa duniani hata kule mbinguni ambayo iko na uwezo. Hiyo nguvu tu ya Mungu. That only one God. He is the one that is able. Umejaribu, tumeenda kwa waganga, it has not worked. Tumeenda kwa manabii, it has not worked. Tumeenda kwa diviners, it has not worked. But when we came back to God, God spoke to us in a cool manner, in a straight way. And when we acknowledge that him only has the power to make whatever that happens in our life, then he changed us. God will change your business. God will change your thinking. God will change whatever that happens in your life. God will change your health. He will fix it. Wewe ni mgonjwa miaka hiyo yote, umeteseka miaka mingi. One thing I want to assure you, that whatever you have been going through, it is a test from God to test you to become that better person. He wants to use you. He wants to test you. He has been testing you. When he wants to give you that ministry, your ministry, your healing, your ministry, your deliverance, you must go through a process that will involve you to be being delivered first. Kama kuna ministry amekupatia ya healing, you must go through healing. Lazima upitie hospitali, lazima upitie mahali utaponywa. Ndio wakati utazungumzia God will heal, ama God will heal you, then you will be for sure be saying with a lot of confidence, indeed God will heal this person, because you know what happens when you fail to wait for this God. Let's look at the book of Mark 8:35. For whoever will save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake and the gospel will save it. So when you try to save it, wakati unajaribu kungangana kutengeneza, wakati unajaribu kungangana kulete watu, wakati unajaribu kungangana kufanikisha jambo fulani fanikiwe, you lose it, because the hand of God is not in it. You lose those good plans that you have. You lose those good ideas that you have. For whoever desires to save his life will lose it. If you desire to save your ministry, you're going to lose it. If you desire to save your ministry, to save your marriage, to save your business, you are surely going to lose it. But whoever loses that business, that ministry, that family, for the sake of God and for the sake of the gospel, will save it. God will come and perfect your marriage. God will come and perfect your business. God will come and perfect that ministry of yours. God will come and perfect your children. God will come and perfect that life. God will come and perfect every department in your ministry, and things will be working. You will not struggle. Hautangangana tena. Maana yuko tayari. Anasimama na wewe na atatembea na wewe. You are going to win. You are going to make it. In the book of Proverbs 16 verse 9, in their hearts a human plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. In their hearts, they got their plans, they got their arrangement, they got their courses. But the Lord only. A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his path. You will plan your way, but every path that you make must be directed by God. It is God. If you only let it go, if you only let it to God, God will do it in a particular manner that you will be worried. Where were you, God? When all these were happening, you'll be asking him, where were you yesterday when I really looked for you? Where were you the day before yesterday when we tried to fix as a committee? It didn't work. And when now the committee is not in, you all come. When everybody is not prepared, you have come and things are working the way they're supposed to work. Tell your neighbor, let it go. Don't be worried of anything that is happening around you. Wacha kujarishwa. Kuangalia ni kama wateja hawakuji kwa biashara yako. Wacha kuangalia ni kama washirika hawakuji kwa kanisa lako. Wacha kuangalia ni kama maisha yako haiendi jinsi unavyotaka, na kutaka kuambia achilia. Mwambie mwenzako achilia. God knows. Mungu huyu anajua. Achilia tu, anajua. Kitabu cha Isaia 26 mstari wa 3. You will keep in perfect peace those whose mind are steadfast, because they trust in God. Just that trust that you trust in God. For the most that have a mindset that is perfect. Thank you. Those that have a mind that is perfect, you will keep him in perfect peace. When you are walking with God, you are kept in the perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts. He trusts. Because he trusts in you, God. That trust of God. That trust that God, you trust in God. Your mind will be kept in a perfect peace. You will not think or argue with your mind that mume wangu ameenda wapi? Mke wangu labda ameenda kwa wachawi. Kazi yangu ni labda imeendewa kwa waganga. Huduma yangu ni kama wanaiombea mabaya. Only when you trust in him, you will be kept in a perfect peace. You will not be worried. Even if they will leave you, God will not leave you. Because he says, I will not leave you, nor will I forsake you. I will be with you. It doesn't matter what kind of a situation you are in. It doesn't matter what kind of a life you are living. It doesn't matter what kind of a problem you are facing. The problem you are facing is a stepping stone towards what God is preparing for you. You may think that you are lost in the desert. You may think that you are lost in the bush. You may think that you are lost wherever you are. Don't worry and don't try to push it. Don't worry and don't try to fix it. It is not fixable until you let God do it. It is not fixable until you allow God to take control of you. Do not try to fix it. He knows how to do it. He knows, and he will do it in a very perfect, peaceful way. In a well-modeled way that you will come to love it. That you will say that my God indeed lives. You will indeed come and say, indeed my God loves me. Indeed my God knows me. That's the time you will give a testimony and say, indeed this is God. This is not my will. This is not my perfect wish. This is not my desire. This is not my education. This is not my money. But the will of God has prevailed. Allow this will of God to prevail in whatever you do. You will make it. You will succeed it. Lastly, in the book of Romans chapter 8 verse 28. And we know in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. So kumbe, it is according to the purpose that we are called. It is only because you didn't know your purpose, that is why you've been arguing out. It is because you didn't know that God called you the purpose. That is why umekuwa kirukaruka hapa na pale. Had you known that you got a purpose, and had you known the purpose, you must know that you got a purpose, and at the same time know you got a purpose. The moment you know that you got a purpose, you understand what is the purpose. Then once you understand there was a purpose, you know the time of the purpose to be done. Because God is a God of seasons and God of times. God is a God that comes within his own time and comes within his own season. And once you understand that, once you know that this purpose, I am here on a purpose, and this is the purpose, and the time for this purpose to start working, you will not argue. You will not push for anything. You allow everything to work. Tell your neighbor, from today, I will allow the purpose of God in me to be revealed so that I can walk in the process of God and in the paths commanded by God.